There appears to be none. It can be tabled. Question number 6, Dr. Jian.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Economic Development. How is the government making it easier, quicker and less complicated for businesses to deal with the government?
Mr. Speaker.
Order. 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 Order.
Excitable little...
Order. In a minute, a member from this immediate court of the House will be leaving the chamber. I rose to my feet, I called for order. The barracking that continued from a number of members is completely unacceptable. Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday, Commerce Minister Craig Foss and I formally launched the New Zealand business number. Businesses have been requesting a universal identifier for business for many years, and similar approaches are used in other developed countries, including Australia and Singapore.
Order. I now require this answer to be heard in silence. If any member interrupts this answer, that member will be leaving this chamber. Honourable Stephen Joyce.
From the top, Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Thank you. Yesterday, Commerce Minister Craig Foss and I formally launched the New Zealand business number. Businesses have been requesting a universal identifier for many years, and similar approaches are used in other developed countries, including Australia and Singapore. Having a single business number means that by 2016, businesses will only have to provide government with their information once, which will be shared across government agencies. The NZBN is a core initiative of the government's Better Public Services for Business program, which is working towards making it easier for businesses to work with government agencies.
Point of order, Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, just so that we can get absolute clarity, because I'm sure none of us want to leave, was the requirement for silence for all of the answers to the supplementary questions or just the primary?
It's a very good example why the member would be better to keep his interjections to a minimal level and listen. It was for that particular answer. But I still do not want to hear, or I have to listen to a return to the unruly barracking that I was hearing earlier. Supplementary question, Dr. Jian.
What are the benefits of a New Zealand business number?
Well, Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
rather than having a range of numbers and identifiers for businesses to deal with, the New Zealand business number is a single identifying number for all businesses and commercial entities in this country. Initially, the Ministry of Business Innovation and Employment, MPI,
Order.
Customs, Statistics New Zealand, IRD, ACC, Callaghan Innovation and NZTE are committed to the NZBN, and more government agencies will follow as it is rolled out. The New Zealand business number will also help simplify business-to-business transactions, making it easier for businesses to invoice out and pay bills, apply for credit and authenticate other businesses. Software providers are already integrating the NZBN into their software packages.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Dr. Jian.
How will businesses obtain a New Zealand business number?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, registered companies were allocated a New Zealand business number in December last year. We are now consulting on how and when to allocate NZBNs to the other half of all New Zealand businesses that aren't companies. Business representative groups have told us they want it to be as easy as possible to access their NZBNs, and we're investigating how they be allocated automatically. Ultimately, the New Zealand business number is about ensuring businesses can spend more time on their business and less time with compliance costs for government. We're keen to hear from businesses on who should be allocated a number, what information should be linked, the rules around using it, and how to ensure information is protected.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
To the Minister, was Judith Collins making it, quote, easier, quicker and less complicated for Aurovida, its directors or the National Party to make money?
That's right.
Insofar as this ministerial responsibility, Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, Mr Speaker, New Zealand government ministers work all the time to enhance the prospects of New Zealand companies operating in international markets. This government is proud of that approach. It's building exports and growing business for New Zealand companies offshore. I appreciate the Labor Party is a thin veneer of interest.
Order. The question. Point of order. Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, the question was specific about Minister Collins.
Order. The question has been addressed. It was a marginal question of whether it had ministerial responsibility. Question number 7. Order. Question number... Order. Point of order, the Honourable David
Mr
Parker.
Speaker, I ask why you say the question was marginal. The question was in order. So why did you say it was a marginal question?
Because I considered it was, otherwise I wouldn't have said anything else. I let the question go through and I advised the Minister when answering it to address it insofar as he had ministerial responsibility. The member is free to disagree with my opinion, but he still must accept it. Question number 7, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And thank you to the sound recording box. So my question is to the Prime Minister and asks, were all his answers to questions relating to the Honourable Judith Cunliffe